Hello and welcome to Soul Exposure Sunday with Autumn Moon. I am happy to be here, grateful to have you here with me today. It is another gorgeous day in the Hudson Valley, and today I would like to talk about communication. Now, I have struggled with communication my entire life, to this day. When I was a baby, I was told that I spoke gibberish until about the age of 3. And then I started speaking English. When I was probably early teens, I remember telling a friend that I felt like the computer working, but the printer wasn't. Because I felt like I had a lot of thoughts and feelings inside that when I went to express them, they either came out sideways or didn't reflect the true feelings that I had inside. So there's other ways to communicate other than speaking, of course. And I think I chose dancing as a self-expression as one of my first and favorite things to express myself. So today, what it's like is it's a learning curve. Communication is one of the number one important things to me in all my relationships. It has been the number one thing to me, and trust, in my romantic relationships, in my friends' relationships, and in my family relationships. So then we have the other side of communicating, right? Of how much do we want to communicate to others? Now, growing up feeling quite different, I really only felt comfortable communicating with nature. Because nature always accepted me for the way I am. Not to say that people didn't, but with people, there is the possibility of rejection, misunderstanding, and judgment. And so don't those sound nice to avoid? I think they do. That's probably why I avoided it for so long. Even my career, based in wildlife, because I felt more comfortable communicating with wildlife than I did with other humans. Over the years, I have had a quote-unquote outlet to speak to others at a more group level. So I have become more familiar and a little more comfortable with speaking to groups. And so that's become easier. But when I'm speaking to these groups, I'm also speaking about myself, about my story, about my hardships, about my solutions and how I overcame those hardships. What it's like for me now, living in a place of peace and serenity on most days. Communicating with others, either singly or in a smaller group. I guess it's just how much I wish to divulge and express. I feel comfortable in smaller groups. typically. I'm not afraid today of judgment or unacceptance, but I still come across the misunderstanding part of things. And so, and also too, I've been practicing as of lately communicating concisely, because I still struggle with my words. See, I can communicate with that red-shouldered hawk up there. Yeah, so, and I find too that I'm quite happy alone. You know, I absolutely love my solitude. I don't feel that need for being a part of big groups to be myself. Actually, I feel like I'm not myself when I'm in those big groups. And part of it used to be that I would take on the energies of others and not know what's mine and what's theirs. But today I feel like my peacefulness counts on my comfortability with communicating. And so whatever that looks like. I want to know if you are a good communicator, and I want to know your questions. If you have any questions based on my videos, please leave them in the comments below. I would be happy to answer them. My friend, the oak tree, is speaking, so I was letting her share. Yeah, so aside from questions and comments and anything else you have to share with me or ask of me, I'm totally willing to answer questions that anybody might have on the subject of communication or otherwise. I think all this life is a learning experience, because I remember thinking when I did a lot of shadow work, that I had been done. You know, I was like, oh good, I'm done. You know, I don't have to do any more. Whammo bammo. Like, it's all over. And that's not true. What's true is we live each day and we deal honestly and openly with whatever comes up for us on any given day. We can't be high on life all the time. We can't be in a place of joy and peacefulness and unconditional love all the time. But we can always strive for it. And I think I want to move the camera ever so slightly so you could see my face. Oop, that's close. It got really dark there because the sun was moving. It's in the morning, so yeah. So communication, it's super important. You know, growing up feeling like a weirdo or just, you know, really different from everyone else, I was more of the observer. I would sit and watch people, not like on a park bench and like try and tell stories about them, but when I was like in a group, I would just observe others and try to figure out where they were coming from. I feel like I came to this world without a huge understanding of human behavior. And so it has suited me most of my life to be the observer. But there's that human side of me that feels like I want to belong, to feel accepted and loved for who I am. And so in order to receive that, I've needed to open up to others and communicate honestly and openly about my feelings and my thoughts. And so me sharing this all with you out there is a pretty big step. But I'm doing this because I want others to realize that no matter what we grow up believing and thinking, that that's not how we have to live out our life. That our belief systems are based on a conditioning that our souls have almost nothing to do with, you know? I mean, based in our human form. So, you are not alone. I am not alone. And although I really enjoy being alone sometimes, I also appreciate community and unconditional love and kindness and support. And I think that's what makes this life so beautiful. To be able to get to a place where giving our love, being kind and compassionate, and loving one another, no matter what, benefits us all, right? So, with that, I will leave you by pulling one of the Star Seeds cards. Love. Live your truth and share the love that is in your soul. Wow. Beautiful message. Thank you all for being here with me today. I hope you have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Sunday.